Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Hope everybody is doing well. Today, what we are going to do is change it up a little bit, and we're going to talk about the Steinwealth Client Portal, and we're going to give a brief demonstration of what you can do and how to best use the Steinwealth Client Portal. And we'll also have this recorded and posted on our website for future resource to use as a future resource, and we'll give an opportunity for anybody who would like to ask any questions to do that. So I would recommend, if you are just on the phone, to please log into our web meeting, and you can do that by going to our website, steinwealth.com, going to resources, and then just clicking on join.me meeting-Melissa, and that will bring you right to the web meeting for you to join in to see visually. If you can't do that, you can always reference back to the video that we will be posting online. So that brings us to the first thing to talk about, which is how you get there. And like I said before, if you start at our website and you click Access Your Account, you will see two different websites for you to view. First is the Steinwealth Client Portal, which we're going to spend our time talking about today. The other is called Wealthscape Investor, and we'll do another demonstration, and we'll record that as well for Wealthscape Investor. And they're both separate online portals that provide a lot of the same information, but there are some key differences, and I'll talk about that. Is a unique client experience that Steinwealth Advisors provides to their clients that goes above and beyond what most logins to view your financial information give you. So when you enter the Steinwealth Client Portal, primarily the things that you're going to be able to do are view account performance, look at your asset allocation, look at all of your account activity and history. You can share documents with Steinwealth Advisors safely and securely as well through there. And if you've done a financial plan with us, you'll be able to review a summary of that financial plan. And there's a handful of other things that I'll walk you through as well. Generally, our recommendation for most people is to primarily use the Steinwealth Client Portal because we do feel that it is much more client-centric. It's much more easy to understand, and the financial information is depicted in what we believe is a much easier and better format from a client perspective. What the Wealthscape Investor Portal provides that you still may need access to is primarily looking at official documents. So the Wealthscape Investor Portal is the official website and data from our custodian, which is National Financial Services, NFS. And that's kind of like, you could think of it as if you were to log right directly into the bank, where the client portal essentially pulls all that information from that website, from the Wealthscape website, and then presents it to you in a more organized fashion. Wealthscape Investor is the direct login. Here you'll be able to view all of your official quarterly or monthly statements, prospectuses for your investments, tax documents like your 1099s, trade confirmations, general broker-dealer and custodial correspondence. And this is where you also are able to set up your paperless settings to determine whether or not you would like to either receive certain documents via mail or certain documents electronically. We're always also able to help you kind of figure out what's best and how to work that out. But besides those things, you can still view your account activity and history and positions and all that information. But besides those things, we generally recommend using the Steinwealth Client Portal to access, if you just want to see, okay, how much are my accounts worth today? What's in them? What's happened in them? And what do they look like? Typically, we're going to recommend you use the Steinwealth Client Portal. So what you would do is you would click on the Client Portal. In here, you would have a username and password. When you first set up accounts with us, our staff automatically registers your username and password, typically with one of the email addresses that you've provided for us, and we provide you a temporary password when you for you to first log in. If you have forgotten that password, as long as your account is still active, you are able to click Forget Password, and you can follow the steps to reset your password automatically. We get a lot of questions sometimes about how do I reset my password. You don't technically need to call us to do so, but we can always certainly help. You are able to do it right here on the website, as long as your account is still active. And as a side note, for security purposes, if for some reason you have not logged in for 6 months, your account will be suspended, and you will not be able to reset your password without calling our office to reactivate your account. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you don't necessarily have to be in here too often, but if for whatever reason your account is suspended, it's very easy for us to turn it back on. It's just a few clicks of a button. You can certainly call our office. But that may be a reason why if you try to reset your password yourself, you have trouble. So what you would do is just enter your username and password, log right in, and it's going to look like this as your welcome page. Of course, this is a fictitious account here because we would obviously never share personal client information. But that being said, your welcome page is going to look virtually identical to this. So this is your overview, and the first thing I always like to point out is on this left-hand side here, you're going to be able to view your accounts in certain ways. So the default is all accounts, and this is the aggregate of every account you have if you have multiple accounts. If you want to drill down by account, you can just simply click on each individual account, and then it will only show you the information pertinent to that individual account. Most of the time, you're probably going to just click on all accounts. Here, you can group by different things. So the first is grouping by account, and now it's just breaking down each individual account by percentage and market value. You could click on asset category, and now it's going to show you your basic high-level asset allocation, which would be your equities or stocks, fixed income or bonds, and money market cash. And you'll be able to see as a percentage how much you own of each of those general asset classes in the market value and a nice pie chart. Then you could drill down even further by asset class, and now it's going to get into the detailed asset allocation like you see here, intermediate core plus bonds, large growth, large value, and the corresponding percentage. You can even click on the little arrows, and it'll tell you the actual fund position that is being categorized. So in this example, this large growth position is coming from this T. Rowe Price Growth Fund. It's a 7.7% position of the entire portfolio. And of course, you can change that information and look by account just by clicking over here, and it'll automatically exclude the others. So this is really just going to give you what accounts do you have, what are the values in there, and what's the basic or detailed asset allocation of each of those accounts. You have an aggregate market value over here as well, and of course our contact information if you need to give us a call or send us an email. If you click now from overview to performance, you're going to be able to view really any period of time you'd like and look at the corresponding performance either as an aggregate or drill down however you'd like. So as long as you're on this all accounts up here, it's going to include all of your accounts in the performance. And here's where you would put in any time frame you want. So right now the default is year to date, January 1st through June 16th, 2020. If you click on this little down arrow here, it's going to give you a lot of common periods. So you could say, well, what's my performance been the last 30 days? Or what's my performance been over 1 year, 5 years, or since inception, or any of these other ones here. And if you do make any changes to that, you just click this little refresh button here. It'll load. And give you your new information. So the way you would look at this is if you wanted to see where your accounts were over the last 1 year rolling, that's where we are right now. We're looking at the aggregate, so you can look by account, and then it's going to total it here. So in that period, 1 year, these accounts performed 3.24%. It's also showing you the 3-year period, 3.58%, and since inception, which is the beginning of the accounts being established, it's done 4.18%. It also is breaking it down by account level here, so you can see the differences per account. And then if you wanted to, you can click these little arrows, and it'll actually show you the performance by investment. So in this one, the 1-year rolling, the T. Rowe Price Growth Fund performed a positive 17.6% in the last year, and the American Century Value performed a negative 12.95%. And you can see each individual fund's performance for any period you'd like. And if you don't want to use these default periods, you can simply click in these boxes and literally choose every period that you'd like. Melissa and I do like to encourage you to check your performance now and then, but don't go too crazy because you can really drive yourself bonkers if you're looking every single day. And of course, if you ever have any questions about your account performance or how they're performing or how they should be performing, certainly give us a call and let us know. And we provide some benchmark information down here as well to kind of just see what some of the various benchmarks are doing. If you click Holdings here, this is going to give you a very similar overview of what the account overview page did. So it's very much a duplicate where you can look by asset category, asset class, drill down. It's mostly the same information as the overview section, which we've used as your default. So you're probably not going to necessarily need to jump into holdings too often. But what you can do is you can change your period here. You can change when you're looking. If you wanted to go back in time and look and see what something was at a prior date, you're able to do that in the holdings section, whereas the overview, actually you can do that in the overview as well. Activity is a good place to look, and you're going to get a lot of information. Sometimes our clients just want to know, how much did I start with? How much have I either contributed or withdrawn? And if my accounts went up or down, and what do I have today? And this column here will show you that. Now, because this is a fictitious account, there's really no activity that is being pulled from real data. So there's some tabs here, some columns here that you're not seeing that you will be able to see on your website if your account has had activity in it. So you will see a contributions and withdrawals tab under beginning market value, and you'll see an income and expense tab under that. And each of those will provide drop-down menus where you will be able to see more information. So I'll walk you through this, but keep in mind that because this is not a real client account, there's actually more information you'll see. So beginning market value will be for whatever period of time you would like to see. So if we just said, okay, we want to go back to that 1 year rolling, I clicked on the down arrow, I set it to 1 year, I click refresh. It's not working, just 1 second. There we go. So actually this is just year to date. Let's try 1 year one more time. All right, here we go. So beginning market value 1 year ago, so on June 18th, 2019, these accounts were worth $1,684,000 and some change. Now in your account, you would see a contributions and withdrawals tab as well. And if you click the down arrow, it will show you every dollar you've put into the account and or every dollar you have withdrawn from the account and the date of those transactions. And also it will show you any activity in there as well. So really anytime we buy something in your account or we sell something in your account, it will also show you all of that activity that has happened during that period. So it's a nice, easy way to see kind of what's happened in the account from a purchase or sales standpoint, as well as contributions or withdrawals. You'll see all of that there. And then, of course, it'll net it out here. So if you put in $50,000, you withdrew 10, you'll see all of those transactions there, and it will net out there as well. The next column below that, which you don't see on my screen right now, is income and expenses. And there'll be a drop-down menu there as well. Income and expenses shows all the income that has come into your portfolio. Primarily, that would be your dividends and your interest from all of your investments, and any corresponding expenses in your account, which in general is only going to be our advisory fee. And you will see that listed there as well for that period of time, and then it will net out all of your income minus any expenses, and it will net that out there as well. Then, as you can see here now, then we end up with either market value increase or decrease for that period. So in this period, in a one-year period, this account went up $57,597. And now the ending market value is $1.74 million. So it's just a simple, easy way to see, okay, a year ago, where were my accounts? How much have I either added or taken out? How much did I get in income minus any fees? How much did my accounts grow or decrease? And then what are they worth today, or whatever period you look at? So I think for all intents and purposes, this screen gives you a really simple snapshot of what's transpired. And sometimes it's a lot easier than looking at performance. Performance will give you a percentage number. This gives you a real dollar amount. So in this case, these accounts went up $57,500 in the last 1 year rolling. Sometimes that's easier for somebody to understand than a percentage number that you would see in performance. So we really like this activity tab here, because not only do you get a nice clear snapshot, but you can see the transactions in your accounts as well. Really nice and handy. All right, next thing is if you go to the Documents tab. So everything we looked at here was a subgroup of portfolio, overview, performance, holdings, and activity. If you now click on the Documents tab, you will be able to share securely any documents that you would like to send to us by clicking on this Cloud Storage button. So you go Documents and Cloud Storage. And what you will do here is you will see a button here that says Upload Files. You click on that, and it will bring you to your personal files on your computer. And let's say there is a specific file you want to share with us. Maybe it's in preparation for a meeting or just something you'd like for us to review. You can click on whatever file you would like. So I'm just going to click this one here and click Open. It's going to load it and upload it to your virtual website here. And now you can see it's been archived here. And on our end, it will automatically upload that document to your client folder at our office, safe and secure. One recommendation I do give, if you are going to upload us a document, just briefly shoot us an email or give us a call and let us know, because we do get a notification on our screen, but it pops up real quick and disappears very quickly. And if somebody happened not to see it, we may not know that you dropped that file in there for us to look at. But it's a super easy way to share files with us, and they also are archived for you as well. And if it's something that you don't need at a later time, you can always delete it. So that's under Documents, Cloud Storage. If you click Statements, and then go to Portfolio Statements, we automatically upload for you account snapshots once a quarter to your client portal. And of course, this is a fictitious account, so we don't do it for this one, but if you click on it, what you're going to see is a file that's going to be very similar to kind of what you see when you come into review meetings. So for a lot of you, this may look familiar, where it's going to give you a snapshot of all your accounts and performance and asset allocation. And we do this every single quarter, and we upload them to your website. Now, really, it's the same information that you can view in real time by just clicking through the website. But if you want something tangible you can print or just review on a quarterly basis, you can view those here, and they'll all line up on your website here as well. And it's in the same and similar format that we use when you come in for review meetings too. So it should start to look familiar, and you should have a pretty good idea of how to interpret those documents. And that's under then Documents, Statements. If you go back up to this main tab here and you click on Insights, we call this like your dashboard. And it's really just going to give you a couple key data points for you to look at if you just want to take like a quick pulse of where you are. So when you bring up the Insights tab, we've customized this, and depending on the time period you choose, you can choose any time period, you will see your performance visually as a percentage, also as a chart, your stock, bond, cash allocation, and kind of your dollar amount over time. It says AUM over time, which is assets under management over time, where basically here's what it is worth today, here's what you started with during that period, and here's the difference of growth or loss, and then of course a visual chart as well. So this is just a simple, easy way to kind of just get a quick pulse of where the accounts are. But again, all this information really is available to you in various parts of this Steinwealth Client Portal. The Planning tab here, if you click there, it's not going to load data because this, again, is not a real client. But if we've done a financial plan for you, you probably at some point have seen these probability of success scores. And you will be able to view what the most updated version of your financial plan and look at all of the variables we've used. So what age you're retiring, how much money you're going to spend, what rate of return we're projecting, all of your current savings and future savings, and your probability of success and your average return percentage, and all that information will be available for you to review in this page here. One thing I always tell people, only pay attention to the recommended scenario. Data will load for this current scenario, but the way that we kind of use our planning software, we generally don't put the information that you're looking for in the current scenario, but there's no way for us to turn that off so you don't see it. So it just might not be accurate. But look at the recommended scenario, because that's always going to be kind of the plan that we've put together that we're focusing on, and that's where you want to pay attention. So again, you're not going to see it in this demo, but all that information, if you've done a financial plan, will populate. Now, you can't change any of that information, but as soon as we do on our end, it will update on your side. So say theoretically you come in for a meeting, we make some changes to your financial plan. The next day you're thinking, oh, how much did we talk about spending in retirement? You could log into your client portal, go to your planning section, and you'll be able to see the dollar amount that we're using in that plan. Also, if you click on net worth, again, there's not going to be any information here. It'll show you your net worth summary that we have from your financial plan. So all of your assets, all of your liabilities, etc., will be here. And same with goals. You'll be able to see all the various goals that we've established for your financial plan. So that's all synced and available and accessible through the Steinwealth Client Portal. The last thing for the client portal, and I'm just going to pull up another document real quick. This is all accessible via the website, like we talked about. However, there also is a mobile app that you are able to download. So if you go to the App Store or Google Play Store and you search for Mid-Atlantic Advisor Site, and I believe MA Advisor Site will bring it up as well, you'll see an app, and it'll have the Mid-Atlantic logo, which you've seen. And you're able to download this app, use your same username and password, and you will have basically a scaled down version, but still all the pertinent information on your mobile app, on your iPad or iPhone device or Android that you'd want to see. So you can view all your accounts, and you can see activity, and you can see performance, and it's just a nice, easy, mobile way to view a lot of this information on a mobile device. You're able to download that app and get all that information on the go. So hopefully that's been a good demo. We will also do one for Wealthscape Investor, but we really did want to start with the Steinwealth Client Portal because we feel that for most people this is going to be the best way for them to get an idea of what's going on in their accounts, where they're at, basic account information that most clients want to know, and more, all the other things that we talked about as well. So I'm going to open it up and just see if there are any questions. And again, this will be available as a recording for anybody to view anytime. So let me just are there any questions that anybody would like to ask?
Josh, a question. Is it possible to go in and enter variables to see how it affects the probability of success plan for the client, or is that only something that you can do?
That's a great question. So through the Steinwealth Client Portal, you are unable to change any of the data. It's only going to give you information that we have previously established. And that's kind of intentional because we really want you to view like what we've put together for you. That being said, any client who does have a financial plan that is interested in doing that, which would be changing variables to see how they affect each other, we can enable access to our financial planning software through a separate website, and you would have a separate username and password. But through that software and through that website, you are able to go in, view your financial plan, and make changes and see what happens. We don't have a lot of people who have taken the opportunity to do that because they've kind of left that to us. But there have been some folks who have been interested in doing that. And if you are, we're more than happy to give you access to the portal, a separate portal that you can play around with. So if that is an interest to anybody, reach out, let us know. We can set up your online account. It's called Money Guide Pro, and that's the website that you would use and kind of the planning tool to jump in and start making some modifications to your financial plan. So no, it cannot be done through the Steinwealth Client Portal, but it is possible for people who do have an interest. It is a separate login, though. That's a good question, though. Any others? Okay. Thank you all. I hope this was helpful. We will have this recording on our website for future use. And we will also be doing one on the Wealthscape Investor Portal soon, as well as other resources that we feel would be helpful. We thought it would be a really good idea to just start doing a lot of these recordings and have them for you to use as resource in the future. Thank you all for your time, and have a great week.